students, here we are together today, second time morning. We took a live on how to make the strategy for upcoming May, June, and September, December exam. That class went on for a little longer and there was a power cut, so could not join in little earlier. Anyhow, but commitment is commitment. We have already completed the direct tax amendments along with some flowcharts example. It is uploaded already in YouTube, and material for the amendment is also shared in the Telegram, WhatsApp, free resources everywhere. Right now, we are here together to discuss the GST amendments. Okay. Before that, these are beautiful two books. The costing compiler for the DT and IDT is out. So many of you immediately when you place the order at 10:30, you say, "Ma'am, I've ordered. What about my book?" Dear students, please understand. Once you place the order, there has to be the address to be printed. The packing person will print it and send it for courier, and sometimes in daytime if you make the payment, that will process and the courier will start next day, and to reach different states and location it might take 3 to 4 working days. So please cooperate till then. Whatever material I'm using, like the amendments are already incorporated in the DT-IDT compiler, but separately also these amendments are available on the website. There are many more free resources available. www.cadiptichheda.com. Okay. Now, ma'am, are there too many amendments? No. Little, but very interesting, logical, and don't count the pages. Like I have also taken a printout of my amendments. So you must be seeing that amendments are running into 12, 13 pages. Answer is no, that's not all amendment. But GST amendment usually comes not by the act and the budget and all. We all know by the GST council meets. So circular numbers and all are not necessary, but I have written this is a circular clarification and all. But when I say, okay, CO motor registration can be cancelled, one more item they have added. You should know the link. No, already these are the reasons why registration can be cancelled on their own by the proper officer. Add on is this one. So just to get the link of the topic, I have given little up and down extra material in most of the topics I have given. Okay, right? And nothing I have skipped in these amendments. So please make sure you revise it twice. Now just listen to it and understand the amendment part. And then when we do one-shot revision videos for every chapter, or you have enrolled for the DT-IDT practice batch, that time chapter-wise, wherever amendments are there, they'll be put up, and how they will be asked in the exam will be clear. Okay? DT-IDT practice batch is going on in the morning, but stay connected on this channel. One-shot revision videos for DT, IDT and costing are going to start from next week. Okay? Right. So material is already there. Let us quickly begin with the amendments. Okay? Chapter-wise, lot of efforts, days and days of efforts I can say I've taken to even simplify it. Somewhere if I give, I actually frankly speaking, I've made lot of flowcharts for my reference. But over giving of the flowchart doesn't help the students, because ultimately you're not allowed to make flowcharts in final exam. You have to write logically. Okay, unregistered person supplying metal scrap to registered, it will be covered. So the reason is this, and hence on my own, I have added lot of examples also in that. Okay. Don't worry, even if you have not touched your GST since last 1 or 2 months, you are doing DT, still you will understand that simpler way we are going to take this. Okay. This is applicable for financial year 24-25. That means for all the exams of 2025. Yeah, it is applicable. For final students, these amendments are not enough, because you have little detail amendments in value of supply for guarantees and all. So along with this, refer more of the amendments. Now, you remember in chapter number 1, there's no amendment, introduction. Chapter number 2, initially I gave you 3-4 pages of definition. I said I'll refer these definitions over the period, but I'm giving it all together to all of you. So there, in the definition of the goods, see, GST is charged on goods and services, whether you supply goods or you supply services. But goods exclude money and securities. Yeah. And it includes actionable claims. Now, in actionable claims, earlier there were three items. Since last year, they have added three more items. Okay. That these are also actionable claims. Actionable claims are where you have right to receive, like lottery. If you have a lottery ticket and if you win, then you have got a right to claim the amount, right? If you have taken insurance and there's a damage, you are right to receive the insurance amount. So, earlier included in actionable claims, on which I want all of you to write here, GST is charged. Okay, right? So, GST is charged on betting, gambling, and lottery. Now, add ons in bold I have given is casinos. GST is applicable. Horse racing and online gaming. Casinos, horse racing, and online gaming are added. Take a pause. I have also included this in the DT amendment that online gaming is going to be taxable as casual income, 30% flat, 4% health and education cess. Is this clear to all of you? Right? Okay. Now, after this, the next amendment is okay. There is a power cut, but the recording is going on, maybe. Okay, there was some disturbance in the net. So now this is not live, this is recorded and uploaded because I have some other counseling slots in the evening and classes in the morning. Okay, so this now again coming back in goods, they said, okay, actionable claims which are like casinos, horse racing, and online gaming, they are added in the definition of goods and GST will be charged. Okay, right? So now supplier's definition is also accordingly widened this year. That's the amendment. Just understand. I'm writing JU. See, few things I'll say you have to learn by heart, but this is just understand the logic. Supplier is the person who supplies goods or services and includes agent also. However, a person who organizes supply of specified actionable claims, that is casino, horse races, online, including a person who operates digital electronic platform, e-commerce operator, shall be deemed to be supplier of the actionable claims. Underline this. Whether such actionable claims are supplied by him or consideration of money worth, including virtual digital asset, Bitcoin and all that. Yeah. So the gist is, though above actionable claims are included in the definition of goods, so whoever is supplying the goods or the services is called supplier. So now if you are supplying these actionable claims, still you will be called as supplier, even if you are dealing with the supply of these lottery tickets or online gaming or casinos or horse races. Okay, right. No need to mug up the definitions. Very easy. Okay. Two small changes in the definition. You remember definition of supply, which should be for consideration between the supplier and recipient who are unrelated. And yeah, all those five basic conditions. Now here, one circular has come, that circular and clarification is big. No need to do that. You are writing 100 marks paper, 50 DT, 50 IDT. What is important for you? I'm giving it as gist. So here they said ESOP. You know what is ESOP? Employee stock option plan. When shares are given by employer to employee. Now listen, employer giving, say money to employee and employee is actually giving services to employer. So should employee charge GST? Answer is no. Employer-employee services are outside the scope of GST as per Schedule 3. So same employer giving ESOP to employee. Will it be covered in the definition of supply? No, it's exempt. And anyhow, shares, this is and by mistake, printing mistake. Shares and securities are anyhow outside the scope of the goods. समझ में आ रहा है? Employer giving ESOP to employees, whether the foreign employer or foreign company or anything, Indian company. When the employer is giving ESOP to employee, should they charge GST? No. When employee is giving services to employer and employer is paying salary, should there be GST? No, it's not covered in Schedule 3. Okay, that's the gist. Another circular came up for taxability of the salvage value in case of vehicle insurance. It's a very simple. Please understand it logically. एकदम आपका लॉजिक और कॉमन सेंस लगाओगे ना तो भी आ जाएगा. इतने छोटे छोटे easy amendments है. Except one or two which are really important. It's not that these are not important, but they're very easy. For example, I have taken insurance of my car and there is a accident. Okay. Someone in the hotel of the parking lot, he banged on and my car is under insurance. So insurance company said, okay, your claim is past 20,000 and your two of the lights which are damaged, they can be sold in second market. I hope all of you know what is salvage value. Salvage value is the money recovered when there's a loss of stock, 20,000. But some stock is goody goody. You can recover 5,000. Okay. So in that case, if the insurance company is settling the claim after the salvage value, then GST should be charged on 15,000 and not 20,000. Listen, your claim is 20,000, but 5,000 the salvage value you will get. We are paying you 15, GST on 15. Simple logic. If the claim is settled by insurance company with full value, I'm saying, sir, I don't know what is salvage value. You recover the salvage value 5,000, you do anything, give me the gross amount. आप जानो insurance company, आपका काम जाने. I don't know. So now insurance company is going to recover the salvage value 5,000 and 15 and they are giving me the gross amount 20. Then GST will be charged on the gross value 20,000. Take a pause, check up. If you have a doubt, ask me. And if you feel that you have any doubt, comment below the video. We are connected in the WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not only for all the updates of my class, 92900 65156. That number is written in this material also. But just on this number, 1 second, dear students. Yeah, don't keep calling on this number, but click the picture, share your doubt, will surely clear it. Easy. Ho gaya. Chapter 2 is done. Supply. Supply's definition is widened. I'm going to give the gist also of every chapter so that there's repetition. ESOP, no GST, and salvage value. If it is included and you give me gross claim, charge GST on gross. If it is net, charge it on net. Chalo. Now, levy of the GST and RCM. We all know. Actually, chapter 3, everything covered is RCM. That is section 9, 3 and all. And section 10, that is composition. So, composition, there is no change. But RCMA, okay. RCMA, this one is actually a clarification. You know, like we have also done section 8. You remember? When it is a composite supply, you have to charge the GST of the principal supply. When it is artificially bundled, it's a mixed supply. You can sell it separately also, right? Then charge the GST separately. Simple. With the highest rate. If it is a composite supply, charge the GST with the supply. Like mobile ke saath charger. So what's the GST of the mobile that will be charged for the charger? Because it's a composite supply. But gift hampers, separately also item can be sold. But they are bundled artificially, not naturally. It's a mixed supply. What I'm talking is section 8. Yeah. So here what they said, like suppose you go to cinema hall. Okay. And in cinema, we watch movie. There we are paying GST. And there are restaurant services, right? You get the ice creams and samosas and popcorn. So these all should be charged GST based on the rate of restaurant if the supply is independent of the cinema. Okay. But sometimes where the cinema ticket and supply are clubbed, you book two movie tickets and you get a popcorn of 250 at 50 rupees. Some offer is there and the bundle supply satisfies the test of composite supply. Entire supply will attract the GST of the principal supply that's watching movie. Should I make a flow chart or is this clear to you? You are watching movie, say 18%. Popcorn, 5%. Separate. Watching movies, services, and popcorn is supply of goods, separate. But suppose this is a combo offer. On two movie tickets, one popcorn available at 50, which is of 250 rupees. है ना? So fair, if it is proved that it's a composite supply, then don't charge highest rate, charge the main item. Have you gone to cinema to eat popcorn? No. That's your supplementary supply. What's your main supply? Movie ticket. So on movie ticket, whatever is rate, that combined will be charged. Same will come for goods transport agency also, GTA, in the exemption chapter. Is my speed fine? You all are following? Now, supply of services on which tax will be payable under RCM. You remember? Advocate giving services to the corporate and cab wala giving services. So like that, we have a list of items wherein the chotu people are giving services to the registered person and the registered recipient is liable to pay GST on the RCM reverse charge mechanism. Right? Now, in this, two services which are added are services by way of renting of residential dwelling. I will do again this in detail in exemption. But right now I'm covering because this is covered in RCM, chapter 3. Again, I will do it in exemption. One more table or I have made. ये देखो. 5AA is added. Services by way of renting of residential dwelling to a registered person. But what cases? If residential dwelling is given for, say, residential purpose, then there is no GST. But sometimes the residential dwelling, I'm making a case here, is given by individual to company, and company is giving this residential building to their directors and all as guest house to stay while the corporate meets and all. So who is the recipient? Company. Should he pay the tax on RCM basis? Answer is yes. Take your time. Residential dwelling given for residential purpose, no GST. Residential dwelling given to a registered person for residential purpose, but where it is given to a company and all, then they will pay the tax on RCM basis. This will again, I want, if you want, you can write, refer chapter 5, exemption. Next added is services by way of renting of immovable property other than residential dwelling, matlab commercial property. If it is given by unregistered person to a registered person, registered recipient will pay the tax on RCM basis. Now, if I go to explain what is RCM and all, so फिर time लगेगा. Oh, this one is a beautiful amendment. I can explain it just orally and then read out. ये देखो ध्यान से. Director is giving service to the company. Director is unregistered in GST, but company is registered. So if the company is paying fees to director, company should only pay the GST on RCM basis to government and they can take the credit of that. Director giving services to company, company is paying tax on RCM basis. But this is applicable when director is giving service as director. Director has a bungalow also. That he has given on rent to company. Now director is unregistered, company is registered. So this logic of company paying RCM tax on behalf of director doesn't apply to other services given by director to the company. I'm again saying, as a teacher, years of teaching experience, still income tax, it's, I feel, easier to grasp the amendments because that's in the flow. This is also in the flow, but ये नया add on कर दिए 5AA 5AB. तो थोड़ा खुद को time दो, repeat it, watch the video again. Please don't watch the video without printout of this PDF material and go for the compiler. There all these amendments are already included. ठीक है? चल. So come back and just watch this. If a director is working as employee of company, TDS will be deducted under 192 and GST will not be charged because he's a full-time director. There's an employer-employee relationship. तो GST का सवाल ही नहीं है. If the director is independent director, then 194J professional में TDS कटेगा. That's TDS. Now GST will be levied. Director remuneration paid to director is taxable in the hands of the company under RCM. However, tax on services supplied by director in his personal capacity, such as renting of immovable property, are not liable under RCM. Only those services supplied by director which are supplied by him in capacity of director will be covered under RCM, not other services. Okay? Right. Omnibus. We all know that a vehicle which can carry more than 6 passengers is called as omnibus. If omnibus is supplied by a company, then company will pay the tax on forward charge. Mine is a company and I give transport service to 5-6 different companies. Mera kaam hi hai transport dena. But if the omnibus is supplied other than company, I am a chota mota travel agent and I am providing the transport service to a company, then who is liable to pay the tax? Company. If I am a cab wala which is registered with Ola Uber, then Ola Uber is neither service provider nor service recipient, is a middleman. Still, he is liable to pay the GST as e-commerce operator. ठीक है? This one will come in 2-3 topics. Metal scrap. Now, then exemption, then TDS. I want all of you to refer here. TDS. Please, dear students, remember TDS, TCS provisions are applicable only for CA, not for CMA exam, but this one is applicable for all. There's a lot of jol going on in the metal scrap. So what they said, if the metal scrap is sold by unregistered person to registered person, then RCMA, we are in the 3rd chapter, ये सब RCM के cases है. So in RCM, the registered recipient will have to pay the tax. Now one case clarification they have added here. Over the period, the unregistered supplier who is supplying metal scrap, his turnover went above the threshold limit, 20 lakhs. So he himself is only registered and the recipient is already registered. Now no RCM. Now this person will pay the tax under FCM. I've given that ahead, but I want to repeat. Okay? चलो तो फिर से देखो, who are added in the RCM? First one is resident dwelling given to registered person, other than commercial property given by unregistered person to registered person. Director giving services to company will pay the tax. Omnibus and all, the e-commerce operator will pay the tax. When metal scrap is sold by unregistered person to registered buyer, the registered buyer will pay the tax under RCM. ठीक है? चलो. Place of supply, there's a very small change. Then I have given these examples and all for your understanding. Just these 2-liners are important. Place of supply will decide when where and how I have to charge the GST. Okay. So place of supply is very important to decide whether it is an interstate CGST, SGST लगाऊं या IGST लगाऊं. So where you are supplying the goods to unregistered person, consumer, I call it as B2C. Then place of supply is the location as per address of the unregistered person. Now I have ordered a textbook on Amazon and I have written my address Hyderabad. Done. So Simply writing the state name, is it enough? Answer is yes. So if the book is coming all the way from Delhi to Hyderabad, IGST. Delhi to Delhi, CGST, NSGST, UTGST, Union Territory, जो भी है. So the place of supply helps to decide what tax you are going to charge. So if the supply is made to an unregistered person, then the address mentioned or the state mentioned is the place of supply. Now, where address of the unregistered person is not there, unregistered person का कोई address मिल ही नहीं रहा है, then place of supply is the location of the supplier. Yeah, you are coming and buying the goods from Hyderabad. Maybe you are taking it to Jammu and Kashmir and selling there. I don't know. You are taking it to Jammu. You to came to Hyderabad and purchased the goods locally. I don't know whether you're going to take it, you're unregistered anyhow. So you're going to take it here, Jammu and Kashmir or Kolkata. Then place of supply, in case of unregistered person and invoice, there is no address, then it is the supplier's location. Read the example for reference I have given. Here, very nice thing they have clarified. So many times it happens that I have ordered the goods in Rajasthan. Buyer, seller is also in Rajasthan, but I want the delivery in Baroda. You all know where is Baroda? Gujarat. I want to send one gift to my sister. So I have ordered the goods in Rajasthan. Even the supplier is in Rajasthan. Buyer is me because I am only paying. But the delivery of the goods is in Gujarat to my sister. Now, whether this is intrastate or interstate. Yeah, this will be treated as interstate. Place of supply of goods through e-commerce operator to unregistered person where billing address is different from the address of goods. Example, unregistered supplier is located in Rajasthan, places an order to deliver the goods in Telangana or Gujarat, billing address being Rajasthan state. Billing here only, I have only purchased. In such case, the place of supply shall be the address of the recorded in the invoice. Place of supply. What's the gist of the three amendments? Place of supply in case of unregistered person is the address given by the unregistered person. State name is enough. If the place of location of the unregistered person not available, then place of location of the supplier. Now, if the place of supplier and recipient is same state, but the goods are delivered to third party, I can order some bangles in Rajasthan to a seller from Rajasthan, but for my sister in Baroda. So the goods are going to Baroda. Delivery in Gujarat. It's going to be interstate sale. What will be the place of the supply? Delivery. Jahan pe the transaction is closed. That's all. Tick, 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 tick. Bang on. Yay. Almost 3 good chapters we have completed and no amendment in the first chapter. Now going on to the amendments, and I want all of you to write mandatory question. Some part of this amendment is going to come in the final exam for all of you. And what is that? First one, services supplied by educational institute. You remember services of transport and all to school and all are exempt. To colleges, some are taxable. That list is already there. Now added in this is services provided to schools. Services provided to the schools by central board, CBSE board or the state board or council to any government school. All school which is controlled by central government, state government, union territory, local authority are exempt. I'm repeating. मैंने ये देखो या तो फ्लो चार्ट दो या ऐसे दो तो everywhere whenever I'm giving gist you are used to flow chart, make it. But I don't encourage much flowchart, though I also give, because finally you're not going to write the flowchart in exam, but just in an answer way. Affiliation by the CBSE and all to government schools. You know, CBSE board is giving affiliation and other services to government school, exam. CBSE and state board giving services to private school, taxable. Affiliations which are provided by universities. All the degree colleges are affiliated to the universities. So is university charging tax? Yes, it's taxable. Add on one more course is NCVET, National Council of Vocational Education and Training and State Council. So these are providing vocational courses wherein they help you specialize in stitching, typing, haircut, some vocational courses, some skill, and then they will provide you job also. So if you're enrolled for these courses, no GST. Services provided by government. Indian Railways. Aha, there is a change now. So platform tickets, no GST. Waiting room and retiring room, whatever charges you are paying, no GST. Clock room services where you keep your baggage and all, no GST. Battery operated cars on the railway stations and all, no GST. Services provided by one zone to another. Southern Regional Railways giving service to Central Railway and all, no GST. Special purpose vehicles giving services to railway are exempt. Now, what is special purpose vehicle in your material? Clear, it is written. Detail is there in final. We don't want to dive deep. Okay. Next, electricity related all the services. We know that basic electricity bills there is no GST. Yes or no? Right? Now, application fees for releasing the connection, no GST, rental, testing fees of transformer, labor charges for shifting the meter, charges for duplicate bill. There are charges for duplicate bill, but on that, no GST. For example, in bank, if you take a duplicate passbook, they will charge also, and on that charge, GST is also. But यहाँ नहीं है. Next exemption is R&D services received in the form of grant. You know, so many times we receive the R&D services in the form of grant by central government or a research association, or universities are also doing nowadays scientific and statistical research and all. So these kind of the research activities, R&D activities are done by government and all in the form of grant, no GST. They can do it for anyone, no GST. Is my speed fine? These are small, chotu amendments, I can say. Next. Services provided by goods transport agency. See, nowadays, goods transport agency, the work is to load the goods from consignor's place and take it to consign. But along with that, they are doing loading, unloading, packing, transshipment, temporary warehousing. Yeah. This will all be a part of composite supply, and GST will be chargeable on composite supply. Transportation charge is say 10,000. On that, GST is 12%. Other services provided by GTA also 12%. The method of invoicing will not alter the nature. However, if services are not provided in course of transportation and are billed separately, your transport bill is separate, but you want us to keep in our godown for 10 days separate, then this is not a composite supply because billing ही separate हो रहा है. GST will be chargeable separately. Yeah, exemptions are there more. बाकी अभी तक छोटे छोटे थे, but will be easy. You just aim today to understand the amendment. Don't try to make sure कि आपको बस learn ही हो जाए. नहीं होगा बेटा. The term reinsurance will include retrocession services, you know, reinsuring one company with another with terms and all. This much part you take care, 35%, 65%, and that's all included. See, residential dwelling वापस आ गया. Renting of residential dwelling. Okay. For residential commercial purpose है, if the recipient is registered RCN. if the recipient is unregistered or supplier ही registered है तो FCM में ही लगेगा. So whenever commercial properties are given on rent, then GST is going to be there. Please understand it vertical. GST लगेगा. Commercial property given on rent by one unregistered person to another unregistered, no GST. But given on rent and the recipient is registered, recipient you pay the tax. Recipient is unregistered, supplier you pay the tax. Both are unregistered, don't pay tax anyway. This for commercial purpose. Now come for residential purpose. Service recipient is registered if resident building is taken by registered person for personal resident purpose, exempt. I told you this there chapter. Residential dwelling taken for residential purpose, exempt. But if it is taken by registered person for giving on rent to employee or to use as guest house, unregistered person has given residential dwelling to registered person for guest house. Taxable. Who is the registered person? Maybe company, जो भी है, partnership firm, they have to pay the tax. Why did I cover it up in the third chapter? This is being added in 5A and all as RCM basis. Here it is clear. If the recipient is also unregistered, exempt. If the recipient is registered, if it is for residential purpose, exempt. Commercial है तो tax. चलो. All clear. Most important amendment, 100% chances of getting this is this. Yeah, this is added as entry 12A. They said accommodation services for students in students' residence. Students' resident is like hostels, camps, paying guest accommodation. It will be exempt if the value of supply is 20,000 per person per month. Huh? Hostel is charging 20,000 per student per month and accommodation is provided minimum for continuous 90 days. Then it is exempt, otherwise tax. Luxurious hostel where hostel accommodation is 50,000 per month, AC room, 4-time meals and all. Very well GST is charged. Value of supply is less than 20,000 but more than 90 days. Yeah. So exempted, less than, see, accommodation is less than 20,000 only per person, but it is for less than 90 days taxable. Accommodation is more than 20,000. Even though this is more than 90 days, I mean, say, the gist of this is both the conditions should be satisfied. Number one, what is the first condition? That accommodation is provided in hostels, camps, guest house for student less than 20,000 per student per month. Yeah. And it should be for a minimum period of 90 days continuous, not breakdown. Then it's exempt. Ma'am, accommodation is less than 20,000 only. But na ye thoda sirf 40 days ke liye it will become taxable. GST is charged. That's all for the biggest chapter amendment. Shall we check the gist ones, GST amendments in exemption? Educational institute, CBSE board and all giving services to government school exempt, private school taxable, universities, colleges taxable. Vocational courses exempt. Services provided by railway stations exempt. Electricity department exempt. GTA providing other services will be chargeable at the composite rate only. It's not exempt. I hope you remember GTA services forward charge 12%, RCM 5%. Okay? Reinsurance exempt. Resident dwelling for residential purpose exempt. Residential dwelling or commercial property taxable. Hostel wala, I told you now. Chalo. Next, we are going to chapter 6, that is time of supply. Time of supply is different for goods and different for services. Now, coming to services, you remember continuous services. For example, I am giving you DT batch coaching for 6 months, 8 months. It's a continuous services. Telephone services. It's a continuous services. So then where we should pause and decide whenever due date of bill is there or whenever the client is making the payment, whichever is earlier. Hai na? So now they said here sometimes the companies and the corporates are giving services to government. You remember what is NHAI, National Highway Authority of India? They give contract to the companies, infrastructure company and all. Okay, make the toll plaza, you make these bridges, you make this highways, you make this express highway. Huh? So the time of supply of service of construction, road maintenance, including interest under the hybrid annuity mode. Okay. So now this is a continuous activity. And then we are saying, okay, government is saying after making the toll, you maintain the FASTag and toll also for some years. Build, operate, transport and cost sheet costing we have done, right? So in hybrid annuity contract, the payment is spread over the contract period. Okay. Then what should be the time of the supply? First thing, oh, did I miss out writing here? The tax liability under the for the contractor, it would say include it in the continuous supply. Oh, I have given you. Bold में कर दो उसको. Continuous supply of service. Continuous supply of service like telephone and all. If invoice is issued before the due date, specified date, like every third, your phone bill will be done. Every fifth, you will have to pay 1 month installment for coaching. So if the invoice is issued before a fixed date or the date of the completion, then time of supply is date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Take your time. In case of continuous supply, if invoice is issued on time, ma'am, what's the invoice time for continuous supply? A specific date or the date of the completion of the event. So if the invoice is issued on time, so time of supply for continuous services like hybrid model and all is date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If invoice is not issued on time, forget. Yeah, but I have provided you continuous service, no? So then date of provision, I have already given the gist in the board. Date of the provision of the service, that is due date of payment. Whether I give you a bill or not, every third you have to make me the payment or the date of payment, whichever is earlier. Date of payment dono jagah hai. I'm repeating, if invoice is made on time, then date of invoice or date of payment. Invoice not on time. Time मतलब due date ही नहीं है उसका. तो फिर date invoice is not on time. So remove the date of invoice. Now add here date of provision of service or date of payment. Date of the provision of the service or the date of the payment, whichever is early. This is your flowchart. Take 2 minutes time. Ask if you have any doubts. I've made on a video on the strategy to restart your studies. Do watch that also. So you will get a lot of insights there. फिर से एक बार, we are in time of supply, and when you are giving a hybrid annuity model service to government for making tolls and bridges and all, then acha, inclusive in the value of supply will be interest. That's what is the next point. Interest को भी add कर देना value of supply में. And then if the invoice is issued on time, so date of invoice or date of payment. If invoice is not issued on time, forget the date of invoice. Date of provision of the service or date of payment, whichever is early. Chalo. Next is value of supply. Very small change by way of circular. Very small. But then just to revise, I have given you. That's why I'm saying don't get confused ki ma'am itna data kyun diya. You remember in value of supply, discounts are to be deducted if they are pre-decided, and we know that the recipient, it was pre-decided that if you complete this target, we'll give you 1% deduction. And the recipient has reversed the ITC. Post-supply discount is given, but such discount is established in terms of agreement before. And ITC is reversed by the recipient. So now the question is, I have to charge GST on the value of supply. I have to keep asking the recipient, Array, this discount was pre-decided. I'll reduce it in the value of supply. Have you also reversed the ITC promise? Na pakka na? Phone call, WhatsApp, mail, nothing is reliable. So very recently they came up with a circular. The recipient should provide a self-certification that okay, promise ITC is reversed. You have to give a confirmation. Then I will reduce it in the value of the supply. This discount is given before the supply, so koi problem hi nahi hai, deducting. After the supply only, you have completed a target, this discount is linked, you have reversed the ITC, give me in writing proof if the amount is up to 5 lakh. If it is above 5 lakh, you have to obtain a certificate of CA and give me that certificate. Additional work for us. Simple, small change. Now we are going to input tax credit. 50% of your portion is over. There was some disturbance due to internet and all. So we went little slow, but very interesting and simple questions are there to be covered up now. Input tax credit, actually I'll take all that, but first I want to cover a simple one. You remember that on motor vehicle and related services, insurance servicing, repairing of that motor vehicle and all, GST, ITC, input tax credit is allowed subject to some condition. First one, motor vehicle, vessel or aircraft used for transport of the goods, ITC is allowed. Motor vehicle for transport of passenger with a capacity of more than 13 people, बड़ा स्वराज मजदा है तो ITC मिलेगा. I'm repeating, motor vehicle if you are using for transport of the goods, you can avail ITC on that motor vehicle, and on that motor vehicles repairing, insurance and all, what GST you have paid uska bhi ITC मिलेगा if you are using motor vehicle for goods. If you are using motor vehicle for transport of passenger with a sitting capacity of more than 13, allowed. ये दो पहले allowed है. Now I'm going in. If the motor vehicle is having sitting capacity of less than 13%, ITC will be allowed only in 3 cases. If it is purchased with further supply, you're a car dealer, you buy car, you sell car. Then whatever cars you have purchased, motor car, even if it is 5-seater, you take ITC, you pay ITC, output minus input. Taxable supply of transport of passenger, cab service. Yeah, cab service, if they buy the vehicle and they use it, allow. Imparting training of driving, flying, navigating. Yeah, air flying clubs are there and all. Then you can take the ITC. See, this is not amendment. Amendment abhi aage hai. But this is a background, beta. Without this, you will not understand. Please like, share, subscribe if you are seeing the efforts I have put in making the material, bringing that little extra data so that you get 100% clarity and connectivity. And if you still have a doubt, comment below. Now, so many times the dealers, authorized dealers, car showroom, they buy demo cars. Now, demo cars are also used to sell the car, no? Should ITC be allowed? Yes. After some time, demo cars are also sold in less value and all. But if the dealer is buying the demo car for transport of employee, ITC not allowed. If dealer is acting as agent of manufacturer, not buying the car on his own account, he's not buying the car. Where is the question of ITC? So why I have told you this history and geography? Huh? Motor vehicle, vessel, ships, aircraft used for transport of goods, ITC allowed. Transport of passengers above 13% allowed. Less than 13% allowed in 3 cases, except this time they said if you're buying demo cars to sell it, just to give the demo and sell it, then on ITC, input tax, GST, what you have paid on the demo car purchased, you can take a credit. Easy. Yeah, right. And small more changes are there. Blocked credit, we all know. Actually ITC is covered in 3 chapters. Isme 16 May, what are the conditions subject to which you can avail ITC? 17, block, stop, you're not allowed to take ITC. And 18 is the procedural part, when you shift from composition to regular, regular to composition, how that ITC is reversed and all. So, ITC is allowed on ducts and manholes used in network of optical fiber cables for providing telecommunication services. Underground and all telecommunication cable wiring is done. So they are using some duct manholes and some parts. So this is not going to become immovable property ki ispe ITC na mile. Bilkul milega. Though it is immovable, it's a part of plant and machinery and you will definitely get the ITC. Just remember the gist. I don't want to. Did you observe one thing? Few places I have just concluded it directly. I didn't go into the detail क्योंकि required ही नहीं है. Inward supplies which are used for the purpose of the CSR actually. CRS नहीं है. CSR. Corporate social responsibility से related. You're buying something, you can't claim ITC on that. CSR are not allowed anyways as business expenditure. Chalo. Please make sure you refer this chapter wise also. Yes? Chalo. Yeah, you can write at 1 hour and 22 minutes. It's ITC chapter. Good. Now, simple. Time limit of availing credit. A registered person shall not be entitled to take ITC on any invoice if missed out after 30th of what is our financial year 24-25. I made some purchases in June 24. I missed taking the ITC. I can take the credit maximum by 30th November 25 or furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier. Since last year, this is not this year's amendment, but many two more amendments are linked with this. That's why I'm giving. समझ में आया बेटा आपको? हाँ? After 30th of November. But suppose annual return is filed on 31st October 25. So whichever is earlier, stop. After that, you can't claim ITC. I hope you all know ITC missed out in June. You can take in the GSTR 1 and now the 1 is also there of the next month. Next month, hey, allowed hai. Right. Next. In case of RCM service from unregistered supplier, invoice to be generated and GST is to be paid by registered recipient, then recipient can take the ITC. Wow, this is a wonderful practical problem. Now they have given a very nice solution to it. Suppose supplier, I want all of you to write here unregistered. ये जो supplier है ना बेटा ये unregistered. So have you written there? Yeah. Suppose if unregistered person, I'm drawing a diagram for this here. Unregistered person gave services to registered person on 18 September 23. Now, registered person should generate the invoice and pay the tax on RCM basis, and then he can take the credit also. Okay, right. Just a second. Okay. So what did I say? Unregistered person gave services to registered person on September 23. Registered person should generate the invoice on RCM basis, pay the tax, and then he can claim the input tax credit also. But here, registered person generated the invoice not in 23-24. He generated on 12th June 24. Then can he take the credit in 24-25? जिसका due date I have told you 30-11-25 or date of the annual return? Answer is yes. You can't say to the registered buyer, oh, 23-24 is over, 24th November 2024 is over, you can't take the credit. No, because though invoice is last year, but this year it is paid, maybe interest and all that part at 18% section 50, that's separate. Yeah, but have you taken the credit now? Have you paid the tax on RCM now? You can take ITC of this even in the next financial year, that's 24-25. I want you to write this example. Even though it is 23-24, till this you can claim the ITC. ITC you can claim till here. Write down, write down. I'll also get a pause of 2 minutes. Very interesting chapter. चलें आगे. Next one is still more interesting. Finished writing? Yeah. Now the last amendment in the ITC. Last amendment in the input tax credit chapter. See, amendments are easy. When we do one shot also, I'll revise. In practice batch also, all this is included in the compiler. Right. Now, this is a very nice one, which will be time limit for ITC in case of restoration of the registration. Okay. Right. Suppose that 18th of July 2024, you have taken ITC. Okay. Now, 11th of March 25, your registration is cancelled. Yeah, your registration is cancelled. Now, annual return and oil for 24-25 is filed in and all that date is there to take the credit. Though your registration is cancelled on 11th March, but this ITC can be claimed by 30-11-25 or annual return, whichever is earlier. Am I right? You availed ITC, you missed taking it. Though your registration is cancelled on March 25, but for this period, so you were registered, no? So you have to file the return, pay the tax, and you can take the credit till November 25 or filing of the annual return or whatever. Now what happened? That you decided to restore your registration. Okay, you revoke your cancellation of the registration is cancelled and you wanted to revoke it. Okay, right. So let us say that the registration got revoked on 5th of April 2025. 5th of April 2025 registration got revoked, and within 30 days of revocation you have filed the return for that missed part. Your registration is cancelled, okay, on 11th March 25. and it is cancelled till 5th April 25. I've just taken 5th May, ले लो चलो 2 महीने. So within 5th May, your registration is revoked. Within 30 days, you have filed. Okay. And now your return. Okay. This will be very clear when we do in the chapter also. But right now, just I am giving that now you have filed the return within 30 days. Whatever is 11th March 25 to 5th May 2025. This credit you didn't take because you were unregistered. 11th March 25 to 5th March, you are unregistered. Now you can claim ITC in 2025-26. Allowed. कैसे लेकिन कब तक? Whichever is later. See, now take a pause of this example and read. In case where the registration of taxpayer is cancelled and subsequently revoked, the recipient can claim ITC either by 30th November of the next year on annual return. Already I have given this 30th November or annual return, whichever is earlier, in dono ka earlier, or date of revocation return filed within 30 days of revocation. When did you revoke? 5th May. Within 30 days you have filed the return. Na? So till that date you can take the ITC. Followed or not? This ITC, you can't say, see, any date could be earlier. Revocation could be earlier. On November 25 is over. But within 30 days of revocation, you have filed the return. Then till that, your time is extended of taking the credit. If you don't want to know any of the dates, simple thing. ITC availed. Registration cancelled. Still this ITC you can avail 30th November 25 or annual return due date, whichever is early. But this registration is revoked later. And within 30 days of revocation, you have filed the return. So till that date, this old ITC you can claim. Provided within 30 days of the revocation, you have filed the return. For that part, you can claim the ITC. Maybe asked for 1 or 2 marks. You want to write the example, then pause the video and write. I don't know how much of my writing is clear. 18 July ITC, 11th March registration cancelled. ITC can be taken, whichever is revoked registration, within 30 days return filed. Then you can take the ITC within 30 days, jab tak due date of the revocation return, whichever is later. In dono mein whichever is earlier, and that earlier and this whichever is later. So they are saying don't worry, little late also you can take, don't worry. Okay, right. Input tax, हाँ ये तो हमने किया ना omnibus वाला. That's all for ITC. So ITC can be availed by 30th November or annual return. Yeah, in case if the recipient is registered and he can take the credit next year, yes. Demo cars, you can take the ITC. Next chapter, now we are going registration. Small one-liner change, very easy. For that base revision, I want you all to write these sections in exam. That's why I've given you. Section 22 says person who are liable based on threshold limit. Some states 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 40 lakhs. Yeah. Section 23, person who are not liable for registration. I'm just doing intrastate and handicraft and casual taxable person. Now, section 24, compulsory registration. Forget. What's your turnover? You are doing interstate. Your e-commerce operate online data retrieval services. Un sabko compulsory registration. So these are the 3 important sections of registration. Here, added is in section 23 too. Some services in or some people who are not liable for registration. In that added is unregistered supplier of metal scrap. Tax is to be paid by the See, this is coming second time. First I covered in chapter 3. Now here, registration. And again, I will do it in TDS, TCS. Yeah. Unregistered supplier of metal scrap. The registered recipient is going to pay the tax on RCM basis. No registration required for the supplier. But over the period, unregistered supplier crossed the threshold limit. So automatically he will become registered. And tax will be paid by forward charge by the supplier only. Registration is required. Simple. You are selling metal scrap, you are unregistered, let the buyer pay the GST. But over the period, you have crossed the threshold limit. Oh, now you are not unregistered, you are a registered supplier of the metal scrap. You only charge GST in forward charge. Usko RCM nahi hai. Simple logic. That's the amendment. Yeah, we all know that for registration in the GST, the Aadhaar authentication and all is mandatory. So now biometric Aadhaar authentication is extended to, first they started with 2-3 states. Now everywhere, you know, your thumb, your eye retina, all is mandatory. And if you are not going for Aadhaar authentication, then mandatory to supply with your registration form photograph of the applicant in case he is individual or of notified individual in case other. Suppose you are making application for company, then director, partnership firm, then working partner. Their photo is to be uploaded, then only the registration will be complete. These are small procedural changes. They can ask for 1 or 2 months. Oh, ये कुछ भी amendment नहीं है, but I don't want to say just read, I want to say just learn theory question. This is not amendment. Amendment is coming on the next page. But what are the cases wherein the proper officer can cancel the registration suo moto? Oh, 6 months are over, you didn't start the business. You didn't file the return. You are in composition, you didn't file the return. Or you did something wrong, cheating. So these are the cases. You read later on. You have not filed the return. So he can cancel. Added in this in bold. Return for a period of effective date of the cancellation to the order of the revocation not filed within 30 days. See, if the cancellation is revoked, within revocation, you have to file the return for the cancellation to revocation because that period you didn't avail ITC, you didn't pay, you didn't do all that procedural part. So if you're not filing the return of the revocation within 30 days of the date of the revocation, suo moto proper officer will cancel the registration. Yeah, other cases are there. Composite dealer does not file the return. Normal taxpayer for 2 consecutive period who's not opting for QRMP 6 continuous periods. And chalo, next chapter. Now we go. Tired? I'm doing it continuously because we have to start with one shot and practice batch is also going on and a lot of things are lined up. You can take a break, but 100% you will get best till the next return topic. Last one. Tax invoice. Tax invoice में so many cases, you know, if the address and all is not there of the unregistered recipient. Did we check now? वो the recipient place of supply may be. तो state रहेगा तो enough है. They said when invoice is online gaming or e-commerce operator and all, where the recipient is unregistered. Yeah. So in tax invoice, just the state or little address is more than enough. Okay. Following people are excluded from e-invoicing. First of all, you should know e-invoicing is mandatory when your turnover exceeds 5 crores. But following people are exempt. No invoicing for SEZ, insurance, banking, GTA supplying services, supplier of passenger transport, admission to cinematography, government, and all. In that, they said e invoicing is not applicable to the government department except if they are registered for TDS. Government is going to deduct TDS and pay you under section 51 if the transaction crosses 2,50,000 और वो जो भी है. So in short, e-invoicing is not required for government department except if government is already registered under section 51 for TDS. I want all of you to write here section 50 interest you have to charge at 18%. Section 51 is for TDS and section 52 is for TCS. थोड़े से sections if you write composite supply, mixed supply, section 8 of the CGST Act, yeah, 2017. Composition, section 10 of the CGST, RCM, section 9(3) of the CGST. So it will be added advantage. Chalo. Interest, it's a very simple addition. Again, I'm saying this is all just read and gist if you remember. But you can't remember the gist, and definitely they are going to ask a question, little twisted way. That's why on my own I have added these 2-3 options also. Huh? First, understand, listen. If you make late payment, you have to pay interest day wise at the rate of 18%. Okay. So my output tax is 10, my input tax is 3, and I have to pay 7 rupees late. So now already I have 3 rupees which is lying in the government account. I am late only for 7 rupees. So charge interest, not GST, interest on 7 rupees. Now, along with the input tax credit 3 rupees, I have 1 rupee balance in my e-cash ledger also. So I have 4 already which is there with the department and I had to pay 10. So interest should be charged only on the cash which I have to pay. I hope you are getting. GST output tax not paid 10 पे interest charge नहीं होगा. Out of 10, 3 is ITC. 1 is balance in cash ledger. How much is the difference? 4. That's the simple logic. मैम फिर ये क्यों दिया है बेटा? 3 घंटे का पेपर लिखना है ना आपको. If to write 3 hours of paper and get 85 plus marks for sure, then take up these amendments. Interest payable on delayed payment of tax not exceeding 18%. Yeah, calculate the interest from date wise at the rate of 18%. It's applicable only on the cash portion. Kaise? Interest is payable after due date, then tax paid through credit ledger, cash ledger. Interest is payable only on the cash portion. Ajay registered for the month of January, filed return. Oh, January ka return you should have done by GSTR 3B date is by 28th of February, 28th of next month. So 21st February to 15th April, interest will be charged day wise, but you are liable to pay 36,500 and nothing was there in your account. So 36,500 into 18% to lage. Option 2. If in e-cash ledger already there is 10,000 balance, then pay the interest only on 26,500. If in e-cash ledger already there is 40,000, I am late in filing the return, but my tax is nil, so I don't have to pay any. See, 234A is delay in filing the return. I am filing late return, but my tax is nil. So on what amount you will calculate 234A interest? समझ में आ रहा है? That's it. Chalo. E-way bill, generally e-way bill can be generated by a registered person. Now by way of circular, they have given that unregistered person can also generate e-way bill without taking registration by filling up form ENR 03. Okay. This is a very latest amendment. So frankly thinking, I thought of excluding this, but पता नहीं क्यों risk लेना. It's a one-liner. Unregistered person can also generate e-way bill without registration. Last topic now we are doing, that is return. Return. Okay. We all know, I have given this for your information. I'll tell you a very nice gist of this, एक एक करके इसको पढ़ते हैं. ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, बहुत अच्छा है. Yeah. We all know that GSTR1 is my output details. Yeah. I can do it in IFF, invoice furnishing facility, and all. Those who do quarterly return or monthly GSTR have to file by 11. Okay. So GSTR1, I have made a date-wise diagram to make it easy. That's what I want to share it. Say for May month, I will file my GSTR1 by say 7th of June. But I missed taking some credit. Ma'am, you just now said no, you can take next month till 30th of November 2025. Correct? Hai? So GSTR1 is done. If there is any connection in GSTR1, the moment GSTR1 is filed, the portal will open GSTR1A. That's the correction in the output GST. And according to 1A, it will be updated and my GSTR 3B return, which will go by 28th June, it will get changed. But listen, फिर से एक बार. GSTR1, if you have forgotten to take any credit, if there's a mistake, you can rectify it in GSTR1A. It's optional. This is the first time they have given. I can explain this concept in this diagram over. Then why this paragraph of notes? Because 100% chances of getting a theory question on GSTR1A. जब भी कुछ नया आया है, e-invoicing, e-way bill, जो भी कुछ आधार authentication, the procedural part, they always ask a theory question for 5 minutes. So GSTR 1A is an optional. If you want, you do the correction in July month and all, no problem. But if you want to correct it now, you can do it before filing your GSTR 3B. ठीक है ना? But the problem is, the way I file GSTR 1A, the ITC can be availed by my buyer in GSTR 2A. It's auto-populated, auto-draw. So I didn't show the full sale. So he will get. Will this 1A be updated now in June? Answer is no. It will be updated in July. Only for me, the supplier, I can do corrections of GSTR 1 and 1A in the same month. For the recipient who has got GSTR 2A according to this correction will be done not in June, in July. That's the simple gist. Same thing is applicable for QRMP scheme and all. If there's a mistake in the invoice furnishing of the first 2 months, abhi quarter baki hai, you can do all the corrections. Same. So just reading out for all of you. GSTR 1A is a form wherein registered person at his own option amend or furnish additional details of supply of the goods or service after furnishing detail in form number GST1 for same tax period, but before filing GSTR3. Nice. Otherwise बहुत pending चल रहा था. चलो एक अभी का correction. Of course, definitely another 6 months, 1 year, they will say no. According to 1A, 2A will be updated. अभी तक नहीं आया. GSTR1 updation in 1A for supplier. For the recipient, 1A updation will be done next month. I want you to write this. It's not mandatory to use GSTR 1A. Achha, when the GSTR 1A will open once you have filed your GSTR 1. Not कि ma'am 11th is the due date. No, next उसी के बाद नहीं. जैसे 1 डाल दिया 1A will open. Small people whose turnover is less than 5 crore, they go for quarterly return and monthly scheme and all. They can also do this. GSTR 1 is optional. It is used to do correction in GSTR 1. It can be filed only once. It can be amended electronically through common portal. It allows to amend the records which are filed in GSTR 1 for current period, same period. Corresponding effect of changes through GSTR 1A on the liability of the GSTR. My GSTR 3B will also be corrected now only. Form number GSTR 1A will be available on the portal every month. Okay. From the liability, the net impact of particular declared will be auto-populated in 3B. At the recipient's end, the ITC for suppliers declared or amended through 1A will be available for the next period. Next period it will be available. This diagram is enough. You can pause, draw and understand, but you will have to write the theory. So somewhere I have given the theory extra. I'm really expecting some comments, like, share, subscribe, because a lot of live classes are coming up. This I started live, but could not do it because of the power cut. So you are getting it as recording. Sure. Example. A supplier supplied 2 invoices in the month of January. He furnished the detail of invoice 1. However, he misses on invoice 2. And for same, he used 1A 15th of February. तो जनवरी का फरवरी में करेक्शन कर दिया. इन दिस केस इनवॉइस 1 will go to GSTR 2B other person for January and invoice 2 will be available in GSTR 2B. See, January correction is doing February for himself, but for the recipient it will come in the March. Now take your time. Even I read it twice to understand, but please save my energy also. आज बहुत सारे live classes हुए हैं, तो आप खुद से पढ़ो. कुछ कंफ्यूजन है तो पूछना. Now, a supplier issued 2 invoices 3 and 4. Then he furnished the detail of invoice 3 in 15th of Feb. However, he declared invoice 4 in GSTR 1A on 16th of Feb. In this case, both invoice 3 and 4 will be made available for GSTR 2B in the month of March. See, if you are doing within the GSTR 1, तो उसके 2B में आ जाएगा. But you are doing the correction not through GSTR 1 but 1A. So the 2B will be corrected next month. Here to both missed due dates. So both will be done next. Same for QRMP you can read. Last one now. Composite supplier GSTR 4 date was 30th of April. Now it is 30th of June instead of April. Don't write instead of April in exam. This is for you to connect what you have studied earlier. Huh? It's 30th of June 2025 and quarterly statement wo sab same. Acha, GSTR 1A, you have to upload the invoice. If it is B2B, to you have to give invoice wise. I hope you remember this table we have studied in depth. But if it is B2C, intrastate hai to consolidated. One upload is enough. B2C. Consumer, no one is going to take the credit. But if it is B2C, interstate, then invoice-wise detail is required for invoices more than 1 lakh. This limit till last year was 2,50,000. Now it has become 1 lakh. Ye bhi. B2B, whether it is intrastate or interstate, you have to upload invoice-wise detail in IFF or GSTR 1 or GSTR 1A. हाँ, but if it is B2C, intrastate है, consolidated एक बार डाल दो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. It's like no one is going to take the credit. Interstate है, if invoice exceeds not 2,50,000, 1 lakh only, invoice-wise detail you have to upload of your sale. If invoice, total invoices is less than 1 lakh, state-wise details. Last one, which is not there for the CMA students, it is regarding the TDS, TCS. TDS rates are same, 2%, but there's a change in TCS rates. It was 1%, now it is 0.5% total. So 2.5 and 2.5. I've given the example also, you can check. And one registered person supplying to other registered person, registered supplier to charge GST, metal scrap wala, and registered recipient to deduct TDS. समझ में आ रहा है? Supplier registered, recipient registered. तो ये forward charge mechanism में he will charge GST, he will deduct TDS. Now, supplier unregistered. The one which I see, 2-3 chapters I have touched this, and everywhere it's the repetition. Supplier unregistered. recipient registered. This is not forward charge. This is RCMA. He will have to pay the tax. No TDS. TDS उसका काटना है जो रजिस्टर्ड है, तो रजिस्टर्ड ही नहीं है, तो आप क्या करोगे उसका TDS का? How can a registered person deduct? Understand it logically, draw the diagram so that you can repeat and it will be clear. Both diagrams are clear on. I put a lot of energy right now in explanation, otherwise my writing is not so bad. That's all for all the GST amendments. We are going to do it in the GST practice batch. The whole batch of DT IDT will be completed max late may late by 22nd of April. Starting now, it's the March first week. पूरा cover up हो जाएगा आपका. Live practice batch, you will get the recording also, and you will get the PDF compilers also. If you want hard copy, you can order separately. Only the printing and courier charge. ये बहुत मेहनत की है बेटा, ये बुक बार बार आप देख रहे होंगे 3-4 वीडियोस में मैं बता रही हूँ, क्योंकि आफ्टर एवरी कॉन्सेप्ट example, concept question, concept example, like that I have done it. So attend the practice batch. If you have any doubt in the amendment, you can comment below or ask me, and please give yourself time to absorb this. One go it will not be done. You'll have to do repetition, you'll have to do partition. Okay, now I completed time of supply. Can I see time of supply of that hybrid wala? चलो मेरा वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई हो गया. वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई में एक लास्ट ईयर का अमेंडमेंट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई थॉट ऑफ प्रिंटिंग बट आई मिस्ड आउट, एंड दैट वाज फॉर दैट नो क्लेम बोनस. I am paying insurance premium last 3 years, 10,000, but I didn't claim anything. So I am asking insurance company, कुछ तो मुझे discount दो. So they said, okay, no claim bonus. Instead of 10,000, you pay 3,000 less 7,000. So after no claim bonus, on the 7,000 only the GST will be charged. This amendment of last year I have included in my material. I forgot to include in the this PDF, but in the material, no claim bonus. Huh? So like this, chapter wise amendments also you check, that will give you confidence grip, because when you do chapter wise amendments, that time you are already diving into that chapter. Yeah, revocation, yeah, cancellation within 90 days, 30 days. And there, if you add on CO moto, you'll be clear. That's all for today. Thank you so much. This material is available in app. Description में आपका link है. Free resources in the website. You can take a print. Telegram में भी डाल दिया. ठीक है? Right. Gear up if you want to write chapter wise quality good exam. If you don't want the coaching, you can enroll for the chapter wise exams also. All the best to all of you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Share, subscribe, hit the notification, because all the one-shot revision videos are going to be live at this time. Bye-bye.